Hi everyone, happy last week of 6th grade and last week of NTI. I have a special guest today for my video. This is Puppy. She's super excited. Yep, she's super excited. So she'll kind of hang out with us while we have one of our last videos. Not the last video, but one of the last videos. I have a few things I want to talk about today. The first one, like I just said, this week is the last week of NTI. So after this week, you will not have any more assignments to complete. You will be done for the year, and your summer break will have officially started. With that being said, I still have a lot of you who are missing assignments from week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're currently in week 6. So all those assignments do have to be turned in by Friday. Next week we'll get all the grades updated, and then what your grade is after you turn all those in is what it will be on your report card. So unfortunately for some of you who haven't turned anything in for NTI, you will have an F on this 9 weeks report card. So please work hard this week and try to get those turned in. Again, I'm always here to help. All you have to do is shoot me an email or message me on Google Hangout, and I can help you in any way possible. Also, today I contacted everyone's parents who is still missing any assignments from NTI days 1 through 20. So if that's you, then I have contacted your parent. I got several responses, so that's awesome. And I know a lot of you are working on those, and you are trying to get them turned in, so thank you. What else? Let's see. I have a list over here. The next thing I wanted to talk about is our Zoom meetings. I apologize for having to cancel the one last Friday. For this week, we'll have 2 Zoom meetings. The first one will be Wednesday, and it will have to be at 9:30 because I do have an appointment earlier in the day. So we'll have to do that one at 9:30 on Wednesday. And then for that Zoom meeting, we will go ahead and read everything that's assigned that day, which is actually the rest of the book. And then we'll have our Zoom meeting on Friday also, and that one will be kind of like a end of the year Zoom meeting, and we can kind of talk about like your project, your book projects, and if you need any help on those. And that one will be at 10:30, like our normal time. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about, which will probably be the longest part, is I want to talk about this week's assignments and just kind of give you all the rundown. So I'm going to pull up Google Classroom on my phone. So for today, I know it's 8 o'clock at night. Today, your assignment was to read chapters 14, 15, and 16 of We Beat the Street. And then you also had a reading quiz to take. It was all attached to Google Classroom. That is actually your last reading quiz, so you won't have any more. So that one was pretty simple today. For tomorrow, which is assignment number 27, you have to read chapters 17, 18, and 19. And I know, like, whenever you see that you have to read 3 chapters, it seems like a lot. But these chapters are pretty short. So that's only about, let's see, like 14 pages or 13 pages. So that's not bad at all. And like I said in all of my emails, there is a video on Google Classroom of me showing you how to download a Google Chrome extension that will read stuff to you. So if you don't want to read that much, you can follow that video and download a software that will read it to you, and you can just follow along. So tomorrow all you have to do is read those 3 chapters. About 14 pages, 13 pages. All right, and there's no quiz, no worksheet, just read. And like I also said in one of my emails, I know for some of you, and even for me sometimes, it's hard just to sit down and read like a lot of pages at one time. So I like to kind of spread it out among my day. So maybe you could wake up and read a chapter and then work on some other stuff, or go outside or take a nap, wake up, read another chapter, or and then go do something else or work on some other NTI assignments, and then you can always come back and read the last chapter in the afternoon or at night. So you absolutely do not have to read it all at once, because I know it can get kind of overwhelming. So just do what works best for you. All right, now for Wednesday, which is assignment number 28, this is where you will finish the book We Beat the Street. So as long as you have followed along and read the chapters and the pages that you were supposed to have read each day, last week and this week, then you're on schedule to finish the book on Wednesday. It's a lot easier to read a book if you split it up among a couple weeks rather than trying to read it all at once. So Wednesday, you will read chapters 20, 21, and 22, as well as you will read the conclusion. And then there's a little section that's titled, What Are We Doing Now? And that kind of tells you what these three characters, which they're actual people, they're obviously grown up now, but it's kind of telling you what they're doing now with their lives. In total, guys, that is 12 pages total. Like those three chapters and the conclusion and what are we doing now is 12 pages, which is not bad at all. So for Wednesday, your only assignment is to read. You don't have quizzes, you don't have worksheets, just read. So super easy on Tuesday and Wednesday. And also, we're having our Zoom meeting on Wednesday at 9:30, and I will read all of that to you if you want to join the Zoom meeting. I will send out instructions a little bit later, or on tomorrow's email, I'll send out instructions in case you have not joined any of our meetings yet. Okay? Now this is the really important part, because obviously you all know how to check Google Classroom, you know how to read whatever chapters are assigned, but for Thursday and Friday's assignment, which is assignment number 29 and 30, which are your last two assignments of the whole year, that's where it gets a little bit tricky. And it's not hard at all, as long as you have read the book. It just seems kind of overwhelming, so it's going to be a lot easier once you kind of hear me explain it. So I'm going to click on it. When you open the assignment, like even though it's 2 days, it's Thursday and Friday, it's just one assignment. So it's titled Assignment Number 29 and Number 30, Thursday, April 30th, and Friday, May 1st. When you open it, there's like a little paragraph that kind of gives you an overview of what the assignment is going to be, which is a book project. And then it tells you that I'm giving you 3 options for the book project. So there's 3 different options that you can choose from of what you want to do for the project. You only have to pick one option. And do not turn in all 3, because that's a bunch of unnecessary work. If you want to do those for fun, just knock yourself out with it. But again, you only have to pick one. So just pick one. And honestly, it shouldn't even take you, well, you should work on it both days. But as long as you read the book, it should be pretty easy. So I'm just going to kind of go through really quick all 3 options. And I might end up making another video that's more detailed and like specific to this project in case there are a lot of questions. Okay, so for option 1 is trading cards. And trading cards are kind of like Pokemon cards or baseball or football cards that you might trade. That's what trading cards are. Usually it has a picture of someone, either like an athlete or some type of Pokemon or some kind of animal or creature. And then it tells you a little bit about that person, or Tuffy's making me laugh. It tells you a little bit about that person and kind of what they are good at, what they're bad at. It might give you some characteristics, so like words describing them. So that's what you're going to do. since there are 3 main characters, you have Samson, George, and Ramek, you're going to do 3 different trading cards, 1 for each character. And there, if you scroll down, there's already a attachment for each of those timelines. Or not timelines, I'm sorry. There's already an attachment that says option number 1, trading cards. So the format's already made for you. There's already 4 or 3 boxes for each character, and it kind of tells you what to do. Also, under the attachments, you'll see where it says option number 1, trading cards, example Hercules. So I made an example using the character Hercules that we read about in our play and that you all know from like social studies and your drama classes or your theater classes. So if you click on that example, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about how you have a picture of the character and then you have a list of character traits, so words that describe them, and then you also have their strengths and weaknesses, so what they're good at and what they're bad at. And again, if you've read the book, We Beat the Street, then you should kind of know some of those things and you should be able to come up with some good examples. Okay, now for option 2, again, you only have to pick 1 option. So the second option that you could choose is called a timeline. And pretty much what a timeline is alright, sorry guys, my video got cut a little bit short, so I had to make another one and combine them, so it might seem kind of choppy. But for option 2, that's where we left off, was the timeline. So a timeline is pretty much showing you events that happen in the order that they happen. So first this happens, and then second this happens, third, fourth, and so on. So if you choose this option, what you're doing is you're creating 3 timelines, 1 for Ramek, 1 for George, and 1 for Samson, and you're kind of telling us what happened to them in this story, like throughout their lives, in order. Which is pretty easy because, I mean, obviously the earlier chapters in the book are when they were younger, and then it follows them until they get older. So again, as long as you read it, you should be able to kind of scroll back through the story and start writing down like, oh, first this happened to Ramek, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. And lucky for you, again, if you scroll down to the attachments on the assignment, it says option 2, Ramek timeline, option 2, George timeline, and option 2, Samson timeline. So it's 3 different documents, 1 for each character. If you choose option 2, you do have to do all 3. But I mean, it's really no more work than any of the other 3. We just put them on 3 different documents because there was not room to put them in 1. So if you click on one of the timelines just to kind of see, there are 8 boxes, and I'll kind of show you on my phone. So this is Ramek's timeline. There's 8 boxes, and it kind of goes across the timeline. Okay, so in this first box, I already did the first one for you, just so you kind of know what I want you to do. So it says, Ramek gets in trouble a lot at Catholic school. Even though he was in advanced classes in public school, they wanted to put him in special ed in Catholic school. So if you read the book, then you remember the chapter where that happens to Ramek. And that's kind of one of the first things that happens to him. So then what you would do is, in this box is the second box. So then you would type what happened second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Okay? And it doesn't have to be like an 8 different chapters. It can just be 8 different events that happened to him. Make sure they're in order though. And then you'll do that for George and for Samson also. Okay? So that's option 2. I know it seems overwhelming and it might seem like a lot of work, but remember, this is for Thursday and for Friday. So, I mean, you might do half of it one day and half of it the next day. But it is a project, so it is going to take a little bit longer than like a reading quiz would. But it's kind of like your last project, your last assignment, So kind of like your final assignment. Okay, now for option 3. Option 3 is more for those who are pretty creative and like to draw and that sort of thing. So if that's you, you might want to pick this one, or you can pick any of them, I don't care, but this might be a good option for you. So for option 3, it's a comic strip. So kind of like a comic book, but instead of writing a whole book, you're just doing one strip. And so what you will do is there are 10 boxes, and I'll show you the attachment. So again, under attachments, here's the list. The very bottom one says option 3 comic strip. So you will click on that, and then it'll pull up these 10 boxes, and they're numbered. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can do this one of two ways. You can either create your own drawings on the computer, like with your stylus, and you can draw on the computer and then save those pictures, or like screenshot them and then upload them to each of the boxes. Or you can just get a piece of paper at home, divide it up into the 10 boxes just like it is on here, and like draw them like you normally would. You can use crayons, color or markers, color pencils, whatever you want. And if you need any supplies at all, any of those things, pencils, rulers, anything to color with, just let me know and I will make sure you get those. Even if I have to drop them off myself, I will make sure you have it. So if you do choose to draw it on paper, you would just take a picture of it and then upload it to that assignment. Okay. Once again, I will probably make another video about the project just to explain it a little bit more, because I kind of went kind of fast. So you might have some more questions. But anyway, you have 3 options. You only choose one. Please, hold on. Read through. So that's option 1, option 2, option 3. Read through this whole thing. That way you can really make a good decision on which one you think you can do the best. Now, I need to say this. Please, 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 you have to read the book, guys, in order to do this project well. If you just read a couple of the chapters, or if you read a summary of it on Google, that's not going to be good enough. You have to read the book. For those of you that have done your reading each day, then it should be super, super, super easy for you. Those of you that have not read any of it yet, it's going to be hard. It really is. So I don't really know what else to tell you besides you do have to read the book. And again, if it's overwhelming for you to read that much, you can download the Read and Write extension and it will read it to you. And there's a video in Google Classroom that shows you how to do that. But I think that is about it. And if you have any questions about the project at all, please tune in to our Zoom meeting on Wednesday, and I will have like a certain time that everybody can ask questions about it. I'm sure if you have a question, someone else does too. And then if I get a bunch of questions, then I will kind of send out a document answering all those questions. So anyway, please enjoy your last week as a 6th grader. I really hate that we don't get to have this week together at school, because I know there's a lot of fun things that we could have done, but it is what it is, and we might as well make the best of the situation. And like I said, at the Zoom meeting on Friday, we'll kind of do an end of the year thing, so please join those meetings or lessons or whatever you want to call them, just so you can kind of hang out with me and your classmates and just have some fun. So I miss every single one of you. I hate this NTI stuff just as much as you do, but I hope you're doing okay with it, and please let me know if you need any help at all. We can video conference on Google Hangout or Zoom, or you can call me on the phone, anything. We can chat, whatever you need to do, just let me know. All right? So you all have a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye.